Welcome back to another epidose of these crazy people that just eat meat and can't stop talking about it. Today, what are we talking about, Justin?
Hey, we're talking about welcoming people back to the channel, making sure that they hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. We're back. It's the Meat Mosaic. Subscribe, leave a comment below about the Meat Mosaic or the topic of the day or the topic of last week or many of the variety of topics on this channel. There's what, Tom, over 300 videos in total?
Yeah, I think so. I don't remember off the top of my head, but over 300 videos. And thanks to all the people who noticed we were back. I haven't really been promoting the channel like I should. I'm a bad channel operator, and Justin doesn't help. So, and Joe can't make it tonight, but he should be back next week. And anyways, what are we actually talking about after everybody likes and subscribes and sends it to all their friends and enemies?
I think it's the one topic that everyone in the keto, carnivore, low carb space can all agree on. I think it's the one thing everyone agrees on, and that is ground beef. I
Ground
think
beef.
in all those quote unquote low carb diets, I think all of us are eating quite a bit of ground beef. And I
Yeah.
think, and I'm not going to lie, I think the number one reason is its affordability.
Hmm.
But other parts of it is fat content choices, right? You're trying to lean out. Maybe you want to do like a 93.5, right? Like 93% lean, 5% fat.
I think it's
And
93.7, but
oh yeah, man, and I crunched numbers all day. That was really bad. Um, yeah, 93.7. And maybe you want those meat cookies to be extra um, how do we say, dry and tough. Or hey, maybe you just like to have a lot of grease in your pan after you're done cooking because it makes you feel truly accomplished. And you will like that 70,
30/70.
yeah, the 30/70.
The rare elusive 30/70.
Yeah. Um, Personally, myself, I'm a standard 80/20 guy. I like the 80/20. I feel like the texture's right. It cooks really well. You can add a little more butter to it if because you're gonna butter up the pan anyway, right? And so
Right, yeah.
you're jumping up the fat just a bit with that. So 80/20, I've tried all the others and I just don't like the texture. I just don't like the way they cook. I like the way they come out, really, on the
Yeah.
fattier side or the leaner side. But I think we all agree that ground beef is a staple and it's kind of eating nose to tail, like there's some mystery meat in there, right? I mean, you
Can
gotta
be.
accidentally grab up an organ every once in a while in that grind.
Well, and if
Uh,
you grind it yourself, you can grind any cut. So you
Correct.
could get some tough old shoe leather beef and just run it through the grinder, you know?
Right, right. And it's just the versatility. I mean, I think I'm going to start doing this again. But I was making meatballs like before, where it was just you could take 2 pounds, uh, put it in the oven for half an hour, just throw on salt, and then when it's, lunchtime or whatever, just nuke them. Or you could reheat them, in a pan or something if you had the time. Throw some cheese on, and that's lunch. A little butter and cheese, and you're good to go.
Well, I grew up, my lineage is mostly Scandinavian, so meatballs are a thing. Many people just know them as Swedish meatballs or IKEA meatballs, but they can be made out of beef, pork, or occasionally reindeer. But so I grew up with that, and now more recently I've been we've all had Italian meatballs, I'm sure,
Right.
right? But now more recently I've been eating a lot of Egyptian meatballs.
Okay. All right. All right.
Meatballs, they're not always round. Some are kind of football shaped, but yeah, that's been a thing. So I'd say the humble meatball is sort of a universal hit. Easy, easy to eat, compact, nice units to carry around if you got to take your lunch on the road.
No
Eh,
doubt.
Agreed.
And currently, my ground beef is ground beef, organic grass-fed patties that are 80/20 from Costco.
Mm.
The price went up recently, by like 70 cents a pound. So that's sad. But they're outselling the Impossible Burger patties that are right next to it.
Imagine that.
So that's really good. Even though the price has gone up, and I think the Impossible Burgers, they're pretty much trying to like give them away at this point. But those are great. I mean, either in the air fryer. So I learned from Kelly Hogan that like I always thought doing an air fryer burger patties, they'd come out too dry. But no, like at 400 for like 10 to 11 minutes is pretty great. I will admit,
For a
I
frozen or raw?
for frozen. Yeah,
A
frozen
frozen.
patty.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
I actually have some frozen patties in the freezer that I haven't tried yet. And of course, I'm new to the air fryer thing. And actually, I was talking to somebody about getting a second air fryer to speed up food prep, and then one magically appeared. Hmm.
Huh.
So I've got a magic meatball providing air fryer buying person in my life now. So,
Very cool. Very cool. So you could be able to open up a shop
right.
of, of meatballs and ground beef.
Hmm. So yeah, I buy both the 80/20 and the 93/7. Depends on what I'm using it for. And of course, I
The
tend to eat leaner.
95/7,
The 95/7.
93/5.
Yeah, that too. So yeah, I buy both and eat both. My dog definitely prefers the 80/20. I think the leaner stuff's too lean for her. I eat it sometimes just for lean, a change to adjust the fat to protein ratio. So I'm always trying to get a little leaner and put a little more muscle on. But I agreed, and the affordability of it is a big deal. And I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, you got to eat the organic, grass fed. You got to buy it from the farmer next door." And of course, that's just not possible for everybody. And as we know, most people do just fine on regular ground beef. So, and not that it could be recommended safely, but some nice fresh ground beef raw, right by the spoonful is delicious. So,
Right, right. Yeah. The occasional raw enjoyment of ground beef is, and it'll weird out your friends. It's Halloween. I mean, soon,
mm,
next week, right?
it's a
So
good point.
if you're looking for an easy carnivore friendly costume, just you could literally just walk down your street with your kids with a bowl of ground beef and just eat
Mhm.
it, and everyone will think you're probably the most terrifying
Well,
creature
if
on the
you're
block.
bougie, you eat it out of a bowl. If
Mhm.
you're a normal everyday guy like me, you just eat right out of the package. You don't even take a spoon. You just use your fingers.
There
So,
you go. So you can be Tom for Halloween. Quite a cheap, the costumes about 450 a pound, could say. Yeah.
mhm. Maybe 550 for organic. Maybe
I rem
650 for organic grass finished. I don't know.
I remember when I first started carnivore at Sam's Club, you could get the torpedoes. Remember the torpedoes?
Yeah,
The big tubes, the 10
they
pound
they still
tubes
have them.
for like, what were they, like $2 a pound or something?
Oh yeah, I don't
Uh,
remember, but I think you had. I think there was a time when it was like 279 a pound or something that I remember. Yeah.
I mean, those were the days. Like that was, you could eat really well. I mean, two of those, like that's food for, I mean, if you eat 2 pounds a day, that's like a week and a half of food for $20. About.
Hmm.
That
Well, and it's
was,
still not that bad. It's what, 450 a pound.
yeah, I mean, 390, but
I
just I remember it was only like 5 years ago where it was
Yeah,
like under, I remember for sure under $3 a
yeah,
pound. Like
yeah.
where it was like, do I want to buy a rack of pork ribs or do I want to buy another tube of ground beef? Because like
Right.
the price was like relatively similar.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. The price of food, well, the price of everything, but noticeably for us, food went up drastically post what's the safe way to describe what happened?
Pestilence.
The modern pestilence swept through our fair land, well around the world. But anyways, yeah, and as I think I mentioned before, let me see if I can share a picture. The What's become popular in my household is the um it's basically you make a cup out of ground beef. Can you see it?
Yeah, yeah, beautiful, beautiful.
So that's a ground beef cup with a raw egg that was cracked in it, and then I think that's actually feta cheese on top. Threw that in the air fryer. So I think um, I could fit five of those in the air fryer at a time, and I think they cook for I cook them only for like 6 minutes or something. Of course, they're not frozen or anything. So if you start with a frozen patty, you got to cook it longer, right?
Right.
Yeah. So, anyways, you make those five at a time. I make them out. They're a third of a pound of beef each,
Wow.
plus an egg. Yeah. So I kind of experimented, and so I basically take 1 pound units of beef, measure, ball them up in equal size three sections, and then form them into a little cup. Crack the egg in it. I'll have to look and see. I might have a picture of it before it's cooked, and then put them in the air fryer basket and uh, put it in the air fryer basket and let it roll for, I think it's 6 minutes. Off the, I know, I got them cooked. This is what, so this is them in the basket when they're done though. So
Gorgeous. And who
yeah,
says carnivore can't be pretty?
yeah,
I mean, the people that do
there they are.
carnivore are pretty, but the food itself is typically not known for its aesthetic.
So here they are before they're cooked. Ta-da! I assume you could see that.
Yeah,
So, anyways, yeah, it's that simple. Just kind of make a cup out of ground beef. In this case, there's a little feta on top. Throw it in the air fryer basket. You can see the air fryer basket in the background there. So
yeah. People talk about, well, isn't it expensive eating only meat? And it can be. I mean, you can make any lifestyle expensive, right?
right.
I would say though that for most expensive um, diet would have to be vegan. That is an expensive diet.
Yeah, I mean, I think I spend less money on food since I went carnivore than I did, of course, adjusting for inflation, than I did before. This is chili here, so this is all mostly ground beef, and then there's leftover pieces of steak that I threw in there. You can kind of see, you know, and that's a lot of God. That's probably like 3 or 4 pounds of ground beef, maybe more.
Right,
I forget how much I put in there. It's a big crock pot, or I think some people call it a slow cooker.
right. In
So
the South,
in the South, they call it slow cooker.
cooker, slow cooker.
Could be. Somebody calls it that. I just don't remember who.
And I think all of us eat ground beef pretty much daily. I mean, yeah, every day for lunch I'm having ground beef, the frozen patties pretty much. And there's like so much you can do with them. There's cups, there's casserole. I mean, there's just gobs and gobs of recipes with ground beef. It's pretty endless what you can do with it.
This is a classic bacon cheeseburger,
There you go. There you go. Just need some chili.
right? Some chili on top, maybe a little pastrami.
Chili, pastrami. There you go.
Yep.
And ground beef, I mean, it's got all the vitamins, protein, fats, minerals of pretty much all the other parts of the cow, you know? Because people are like, "Oh, how come you guys love to eat ribeye all the time?" And it's like ribeye is really, really good. Like it's kind of the reason. Like there's not really a whole lot of nutritional difference between a ribeye steak and some ground beef.
I could probably say this year, and it's already nearing the end of October, I've probably eaten maybe 3 or 4 ribeyes this whole
Oh
year.
wow.
I mean, part of that is just because I eat leaner. I
Right.
was eating a lot of New York strips, and then I started moving into sirloin and lately a lot of sirloin tip steak, of course, ground beef, you know, lots of shrimp. I eat a lot of shrimp, so and eggs. So yeah, I make steak and eggs with the sirloin tip steak all the time. Those cut it up. I've posted some pictures of it. I don't think I have any to share in the share folder, but I just cook it in a giant. I have a giant like 12-inch cast iron pan.
Right.
So I just cook it up in there. So again, I usually take the leftover steak and throw it in
What?
there.
Leftover steak? What is
Well,
that?
I prep ahead of time. I never want to run out. Sometimes there's a little extra. And then so I crack it with some fresh eggs and any other extra meats I got laying around, and maybe some cheese or something. And then that 12-inch pan usually makes like 5 nice servings are good for breakfast, and they go in the glass containers and just pull them out in the morning when I'm getting ready for work and off I go.
There is one part about carnivore and cooking that is really difficult.
Hmm.
And if you mess it up, it can mess up your whole game plan.
Overcooking,
Yeah.
not planning ahead.
Forgetting to take the meat out of the freezer, man.
Yeah, because it takes forever to eat when you're trying to gnaw on a frozen piece of meat. Yeah, meatsicles not so fun.
Yeah, meat's a cool. Yeah, it isn't. It's a little hard on the gums.
Agreed.
Another good thing about ground beef, hey, you lost your teeth and you had some parties back in the day, so you're missing some teeth. Some ground beef. You ain't got to chew a whole lot.
Yeah,
They
that's a good point because not only is ground beef typically easy to chew, but it digests a little faster. So if you need to get your nutrition in faster, it's a good way to do it.
Now, if you are new to carnivore, you may want to watch the fat. So like when I first started, I thought, oh, like I've been on these like seed oils for so long, I ought to like up like my animal fats. So the juice, I would like drink the juice, and then that would send me straight to the bathroom. So yeah, I mean find a dip. It's the animal fats and the butter or whatever, ghee, whatever you're cooking in, or beef tallow, some more fat. Awesome. It's great to dip your ground beef, but if your stomach isn't used to that much fat that quickly,
Yeah.
it might have you running.
Hmm. For sure. So, um, one other thing I was going to say, sometimes, you know, you might just want something that's more like soup or whatever. And ground beef and broth is pretty damn good eats. So I think
Yeah.
I don't make it a lot, but it's worth mentioning because I think it's completely underrated and completely under talked about. So
And when you say broth, you mean like a chicken broth or like a beef broth or
bone
what?
broth, chicken
Bone
broth,
broth.
beef broth, whatever. Both, yeah, whatever. Yep, any of the above. Because sometimes you get that tough piece of meat or you do overcook it. That's a nice way to kind of eat it when it's not your favorite. Put it in some broth, soften it up.
Well,
So
hey, it is soup season. We're getting in on, well, not where you live, but where I live, we're getting into
there's a
soup.
good point. It's going to start getting chilly.
And start getting chilly. Yeah.
It's chilly weather.
The glorious night that it's, I'm gonna be like, you're gonna be like, "Hey Justin, what temperature is it?" And I'm gonna be like, "It's 7."
I'm like, damn, it's 70 here. So, anyways, all right. You got any final comments on ground beef?
I think it's a perfect food. I know we a lot of commentators talk about, what is the perfect food, and I think ground beef, when it's scaled on all dimensions, I think ground beef wins out. Nutrition, variability, price, um, ease of cooking. I mean,
Yeah,
just
there's so many different ways
oh,
to season it, right?
right.
You can eat it like a burger, you can just eat it like taco meat or, whatever, casserole, chili,
Cheese is my favorite seasoning. Cheese and butter are
cheese.
my favorite seasonings.
Yeah, mine too, top of the list.
Bacon, cheese,
Hmm.
top seasonings. Yeah.
Bacon for sure.
And then, okay, for the keto crowd, avocado, fine.
Yeah, my neighbor just gave me some beautiful avocados. They're just coming to be ripe. So, yeah,
It's worth it for
huge.
the oxalate. It's fine. I don't think there's a whole lot of fiber in
Well, they're
avocado meat.
seasonal,
Yeah.
so if you're not buying them every week, you know, you buy. Like, I was just telling a story about our friend that was eating the papayas. You remember that?
No, I don't.
You know, a little somebody we know that lives in India.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He's like, I had to do it. It's papaya season, and I was like, I get it. It's avocado season. So, yeah, I'll probably take a nice giant avocado, put some ground beef in it, and eat it that way.
You're gonna put ground beef inside an avocado?
Yeah, and remove the pit. Be like a beef bowl made out of avocado.
All right. Yeah, Pixar, it didn't happen. See how that goes.
Yeah. All right. Well, we want to thank everybody for watching and look forward to more videos coming up. Don't forget to like and subscribe and pass on the link to other people. We're always looking to grow the viewership. Of course, that's the name of the game. And let us know if there's some other topic you want us to cover. Send your hate mail to Justin.
Of course. And hey, special shout out to the audience. So I am now on a laptop, and normally when I'm recording, I'm in a different room. And the laptop is on my lap. And as you can tell, I'm quite the animated speaker. And so I've noticed in the last few episodes, my camera is just really bouncing around. And I apologize for those that get motion sickness. I do not mean to do it on purpose. Tonight, just out of circumstance, I'm in the kitchen. I'm on a flat, stable surface.
Hmm.
So
And
camera
using a better
quality,
microphone.
using a better microphone. So
Amazing.
hopefully we can keep this going, but I do want the audience to know that I am aware. I was aware.
Hmm.
I try my best not to, but I'm a wiggly worm. What can I say?
Yes, you are.
I'm burning those calories just kind of constantly.
Yeah. Nobody expects you to sit still. Don't worry about it.
And Saturdays is my coffee day, so that's a little extra. Yeah,
Ooh.
exactly.
All right, man. Well, it was good chat with you.
You too. Like and subscribe, share, all the good stuff.
And whatever you do, don't fall
Don't fall
down
down the
the carb hole.
carb hole,
Carb
hole,
hole.
hole.